Alright, I got to talk about this deal I was watching the other day, or listening to the other day. And it's so funny to see conservatives and liberals flip flop. Because everybody, conservatives especially, they want to cast this light that conservatives are for the individual. They're against government. And liberals, on the other hand, they want to promote this inefficient bureaucracy, this government arm that never works for anything. But yet, they, on the side, they try to use government for what they want. So it's never an argument about government or no government. It's only an argument about what to use government for. And so we see this here. I hear this guy on this radio segment, Jerry Doyle, talking about the Democrats and their opposition to what we're currently doing in Iraq. And I oppose it as well, but you'll see what I'm talking about. In a separate segment, I happened to be driving, and I caught several different segments. He was talking about the post office. So let's go through this. He says, the Democrats, they want failure in Iraq. Here they are talking about the inefficient, how the new Iraqi government will be inefficient, will be wasteful, and yet here they have $79 billion. This new government, Iraqi government, has $79 billion in oil profit surplus. See, what they're saying is not true. The government of Iraq is not inefficient and ineffective. It's been greatly effective. We have $49 billion, $79 billion surplus in oil profits. Now, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny to see the Democrats stand up and say, you know, government will only be inefficient and ineffective when their government solution, their solution to everything is more government. But then isn't it funny to see quote-unquote conservatives stand up and say, oh no, government will be great, government will be effective, government will be efficient, government will be profitable, when they pretend like they hate government. But see, it's just a matter of semantics. It's only a matter of what you want to use government for with these guys. Of course, the conservatives, they want government to promote the military, to promote social policy, to promote moral values. And so this deal they got themselves into with the military, oh, government's fine for military. See, this new government that another state has set up is going to be, see, it's not going to be inefficient and ineffective all of a sudden. All of a sudden, governments are great profit-making machines. But listen to them talk about welfare. Listen to them talk about education. Listen to them talk about healthcare. And they almost have you convinced that they don't really like government solutions that much. But they love them. They love government solutions. It's just a matter of what they want it for. And here we have the Democrats, the liberals, saying, oh, the government's going to be so ineffective and inefficient. Well, they don't really think government is ineffective and inefficient. It's the proposal for their solutions to most of America's problems. It's more government and more government intervention. They don't have a problem with government being ineffective and inefficient. They love government. But it's just flip-flop according to what issue it is that you want to address. And Jerry Doyle's talking about the post office. He says, oh, you know, the post office gets a bad rap. We talk about how inefficient and ineffective, and how slow and how horrible they are. He said, well, you know, I think it's actually pretty good. You take a piece of mail, and you take it from here, and you get it to there, and then the new delivery rates came out. 94% on time for a certain type of mail, 95% on time for another type of mail, and 97% on time for another mail. And see, the post office, we got the headlines coming out today. Post office loses $2 billion. Well, the post office didn't really lose $2 billion. But they were forced to set up an escrow account, which made them profitable. They had $3 billion in savings, and the government came and raided their savings. The post office. The post office remained profitable. They came and raided their savings and spent it on other appropriations within the budget. And then all the blame gets dumped on the post office. The post office is inefficient and ineffective, and it's a money loser. And I just can't help but see this stark contrast. And don't you understand that's why you don't nationalize businesses? Government is bad, conservatives. They pretend like they understand. Don't you understand that's why you don't put a profitable business under the arm of the government? Because the government will raid it and drive it into the ground and steal from it and totally destroy it while using it for its own purposes. That's why you don't nationalize businesses. That's why the government should not be involved in business. That's why government is destructive to business, because they will always pull from the resources of the business, and anything under their control, they will pull from those resources and go into the profligate spending. And so we go back to Iraq. They've got a $79 billion surplus, but they have a nationalized oil business. And so the conservatives in their pretend platform are right. That government is just too new to get it. Okay, once the Iraqi people realize that they can vote themselves gifts from the public treasury, this government will begin to do what all governments do. And that is they will waste and pilfer and fritter away all this surplus. That's why the Iraqi oil should be in private hands. Because they'll take that $79 billion and eventually they'll spend it and they'll waste it and they'll have nothing to show for it. Just like the quote-unquote conservatives always accuse government of. But no. In this case, it's a great thing that the Iraqi government has a nationalized business with all these profits, and they're going to get it right this time. See, government's not bad. It's just what you want to use government for. This Iraqi government, since it's their little baby, since it's their little pet project, they're going to get it right. And they're going to do better than all the other governments. Meanwhile, the post office is doing a good job over here. If only it weren't for our American government raiding the funds. See, the only difference is our American government, they figured it out. They figured out how to drain the resources of anything under their control. The Iraqis might not be that smart yet. But they'll get there. Just give them a little bit of time. And this great, wonderful, efficient government agency that you call a post office, the same thing will be happening over in Iraq with the $79 billion surplus that great, wonderful, efficient government has come up with over there. So, it's just kind of funny to watch people flip-flop when it suits their needs. And of course, both of them, are horribly, terribly wrong.